Good morning, traders. Welcome to the TMT Traders Edge Report for Tuesday, December 19th. All right, traders. Well, the markets just continue to rise and continue to move higher. We talked about this the other day with our subscribers. We also mentioned that there is going to be window dressing. There might be some tax selling, but more than likely, there's no one going to take a stand to start selling stocks unless there's some sort of news-driven event. We have 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks before the end of the year, so why disrupt their bonuses? Big money, smart money, they're going to at least tiptoe out of the new year with whatever gains that they have, so why sell? And that's really what the situation is at the moment. So can the first of the year get something going as far as to the downside and get really ugly? I think so. I think we're looking at a pretty fast and swift correction going into the first quarter, if not the second quarter. Timing is of the issue, obviously. You really can't time the market. You can tiptoe in slowly by dollar cost averaging, but that's pretty much it. But I want to get to a couple things. A bunch of emails saying, is there another way I can trade Bitcoin? Well, if you don't want to open up a Bitcoin account, and obviously Bitcoin's trading at 19, almost 20,000 at one point yesterday, you might want to look at Overstock.com. Yes, OSTK, because number one, they accept Bitcoin, and number two, they're actually changing their model where I read briefly, and again, you have to do your own research, but they did an initial coin offering. I've never heard of that before. I've heard initial public offering, IPOs, but they did an initial coin offering, so heavily involved in Bitcoin, and it looks like it's trading like Bitcoin. You can see that here. So if you want to get involved with a short trade, or you want to buy a pullback, here are great levels for you, and here is our TMT algorithm where we spit out our support levels. As you can see, there's no resistance, but it has gone parabolic. I mean, just in July, the stock was trading at $15, and now it's at $75, like the whole equity market has been. So caution here is warranted if you are trading and you want to trade Overstock, but they do have options. And options are a great great vehicle to take advantage of any type of price move. Now, I wouldn't buy an option. The volatility is at 110% implied volatility. So buying an option with a high volatility, I'd rather you put together some spreads, selling spreads, or at least if you are going to buy a debit spread, get involved with a sell side, so at least it brings your cost average down a little bit. But selling spreads really would be the way to go if you are going to trade Overstock, which I'm actually going to be taking a look at myself, and I'll be giving you some updates on the Traders Edge report as well. Okay, so here is Overstock. Now, this morning, interesting, Apple came out, Nomura, which is a top one tier firm, came out with a downgrade in Apple, saying that the iPhone X is late innings of the cycle, and I agree. I think that Apple, and I mentioned many of our subscribers that Apple is a mature growth stock. Not saying Apple is not a great company, but it is a mature growth stock, and I do believe that once this market does sell off, you're going to have Apple really take it on the chin, and I believe most of the FANG stocks will do the same: Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. If for those of you who don't know what the FANG stocks are, you can see our momentum indicators here. Not even getting up at the high above 70 or even 80 here like it did here, and now we're at all-time highs yet again, and we can't even get up there. So momentum is waning. Now it's just a matter of what's going to happen with the downgrade. Now, how I like to trade downgrades or upgrades is that I don't like to take the initial step. I like to see where it goes for the day, get a good feel for price. Now, you can trade it intraday if you wanted to, but if you're looking to build a position long or short on the upgrade or downgrade, give it a day or so and see where this goes, because sometimes they just revert back to the normal way. So this is a downgrade, so we are looking for lower prices. But these are your levels here, guys, if you're looking for a move lower. Now, I would suspect this 169 coming off our algorithm, that's going to be a key and pivotal area, which really, actually, let's call it 167. Let me put a line down here, and then of course we'll come back to it if what line with the break. That's going to be key and pivotal. That'll be above our TMT proprietary price channel, and if that does break lower, look for a flush down to the 156. There is a very small gap support that never got filled down here at the 127, which, believe it or not, gaps do get filled. This gap got filled. As you can see, this did not. So there's another gap area here at the 158. Small gap, but this is the bigger area here that's going to need to get filled at one point. So keep an eye on Apple. Nomura has a downgrade on it. Again, Apple, the iPhone X, late innings in its cycle. So I'm looking for lower price in Apple as well. Now, the technicals are showing that Apple's looking for lower prices, but price isn't. So what does that mean? So you do nothing at the moment, but you keep this on your radar. Okay, this is what the Trader's Edge report is about. Now, take a look at CF. We had a mention here last week. Tell you, strong stock, guys. Sideways consolidation at the highs. Very strong stock. I would love to see a pullback to the 21 EMA, even down to this area, this cluster of support. That'll come in at the 38% retracement. Again, still on my radar. Haven't done anything with it yet, but we get a little pullback. We get a little sell-off in the market. This would be a great opportunity to start looking for long trades. All right, so let's take a look at a top-down approach on the spiders. I want to just show you how unrealistic this move is. The 21 EMA is at 232, let's just call it. We're at 268. We're over 34 points away from the 21 EMA. If you don't think price will gravitate back to it, think again, guys. I mean, you could go back and look when price went that far away from the 21, it came back up. When price gravitated away from it to the upside, it came back down. Same thing, way away, came back up again back in 2009. Same thing here back in 2010. All the way up back to 2015, 16, when we had that nasty sell-off right after that. So keep an eye on it. Now, this is a 50% retracement. This is the spot. But look at where we are on the monthly chart. We're at 82% overbought. Now, overbought and oversold are not buy or sell signals, not even close. They can last overbought for quite some time. As you can see here, we've been overbought pretty much all of 2017. So, but I just want to tell you, this is what we're looking at. Now, take a look at the weekly chart. We have this massive bearish rising wedge, only bearish when we break the lower end of this trend channel. But you can see here again, we are grossly overbought on both indicators, MACD and RSI, and we're way away from the lower end of this trend line, excuse me. So again, keep an eye on what's going on around you. Don't get caught up in this euphoria. Now, obviously, same here at TMT. We're trend traders, so we're looking to buy deep consolidations, deep dips, consolidations into our buy zones from our algorithm. So I'm not denying that I am buying the dip, but I'm not shorting. But I'm also being very cautious here. And last is going to be your spider daily chart. Just want to show you where we are. We're still at the 8, which comes in at the 266.18. That's going to be your first support area, and then the 264.80 for today's trade. If it were to get there, obviously we're looking at 4 points. That would be a massive move to the downside. But just keep in mind, those are going to be your levels off the daily chart, your bigger levels off the daily chart. Guys, I hope it helps. Keep an eye on those stocks that we mentioned. Again, if you're looking to trade Bitcoin, another alternative would be Overstock, OSTK. You can see it's pretty correlated to Bitcoin. Not exact, but it is pretty correlated to Bitcoin. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.